Welcome to All Things Vocal, my dear friend Dave Loggins, and I am so happy to have you on.
Pleasure to be here.
And like I was telling you, I started thinking about this interview and getting ready for it while I was listening to my favorite Dave Loggins song, which is
Guitar Going.
That's just always been a magic song for me. And Don Williams did do a good job of it, but the real magic for me is your guitar playing and you're doing the background vocals, plus that 4 chord you start with.
It's just one of those things I'm trying to figure out which way to go.
You were raised in the mountains of East Tennessee in a small town. Yeah. And so what in the world led you to start songwriting?
Well, I'll go back to when I was about 13. I was actually trying to write a song then because I was listening to records all the time on my little stereo, you know, the 45s that had the spindle that dropped down one at a time. I had tons of those 45s and I listened to them all the time. And if a new record, I heard a new record, like a new Beatles song, I'd go to the record shop and order it if it wasn't there.
So you didn't read tons of songwriting books?
No, you can't really write a handbook on songwriting because it's an individual taste. It's sort of like that 4 chord bouncing off and going to the 1. So I listen to records every free moment, you know, for hours at night. I do my homework, eat some dinner, and then go upstairs in my room, close the door, and get into this. I don't know, develop some trance-like state that you get in because you're studying these. Unbeknownst to me, my subconscious was studying the structures of the songs and the lyrical rhymes. What did they use? How did they come up with? I used to try to guess what rhyme they're going to have, you know.
Yeah.
So after doing that for a few years, I just decided, and having heard Donovan, you know, the old Donovan players,
sure,
and stuff like that, they had this finger-picking way that they played.
Yeah, when did you start playing guitar? Because, my gosh, your touch on the guitar is just masterful.
19.
19? Huh.
Yeah, I was 19. I got a late start, Judy. But that's not the half of it. I went and bought a guitar. Actually, I laid it away because I didn't have $600 for a Martin guitar back then.
Back when you could lay away, yeah.
Yeah, and so I laid this beautiful Martin guitar away, and I paid like $100 a month, I think. And after about 3 months, I got tired of going out there and looking at it, you know. So I just saved up money and paid it off.
Oh, yeah.
I got home, and it hit me that, because I didn't know anything about instruments or I didn't know anything about songwriting, but I was driven to do that, almost like you're chosen, you know.
Yeah.
I think in a way I was.
It was your river to swim in, for sure.
Yeah. I got the guitar home, and I started playing. This is funny, too. I started playing with these guys, you know, and put somebody on that did the finger-picking thing, and I thought, wow, what does that sound? And what it was, the guitar was right-handed, and I was playing left-handed. You know?
Oh, my God.
So check this out. I had to take the strings off and turn them upside down. And I didn't know anything about a bridge and a nut or anything like that.
Wow. I forgot you're left-handed.
Yeah. The action on this guitar was high. And I didn't know that it just hurt your fingers, you know. But that's something you have to get by or you don't play. That's all there is to it. There's a lot of things. Keep that in mind as we go along. You either do this and that, or you don't play, or you don't write. You don't get anywhere. Because ultimately, songwriting gets hard, you know. Because as a kid, about 20, 21 years old, I started writing, and I'll never forget the frustrations of laying on the bed with a legal pad, and I would get to the point where I would just weep. You know, it was because it's something trying to hatch, you know.
I started to say that's the closest you'll ever feel to labor pains, Dave.
It is. It is, literally. And but finally, when it came out and I wrote my first song, and then the second one came, and third and fourth song. My brother lived here in Nashville. He was pretty high up in the insurance business. Mm-hmm. So I got this little mattress and I put it in his bedroom. I put it beside his bed, and it's sort of a single mattress. And I slept on that for mm-hmm. a while. Mm-hmm. And this is the fall of '71, and so 72 rolled around. I was working on this song called Pieces of April. Pieces of April means moments, moments that I shared with somebody, and I just didn't want to call them moments, So I don't know how I found Pieces of April, but I did the thing that most people have told me about songwriters, back in Christopher's time. Mm-hmm. People would walk down 16th Avenue with a guitar case. And I thought, wow, that's weird. And I don't see me ever doing that. And I did it. I did. I swear I did. One day I just got tired of waiting. And I walked down 16th Avenue and went into Capitol Records of all places.
Wow.
And I asked the secretary, does anybody here listen to songs? And this guy heard me upstairs, and he came out and said, yeah, I listen to them. So I went up and unpacked my guitar, high strings and all, and played him 4 songs, and he just went crazy. He said, man.
How y'all doing? I welcome you back on here. If you're new, consider subscribing, liking, and also share this video. So right about now, we are receiving news about the devastating loss of Dave Loggins, the Grammy-nominated singer-songwriter best known for his so many hit songs, most especially the 1974 hit song Please Come to Boston. Actually, the legend passed on Wednesday, that was on July 10th at Alive Hospice in Nashville. And by the time he passed on, he was 76 years old. The interview you've just listened to, that was in 2021, that was held, on the podcast of that lady named as Rodman, where Dave Loggins actually was talking about his career, how he actually learned all the instruments he used to play, then his history of songwriting, how it came about, how he honed the skill, of songwriting, reaching to the extent of writing actually so many hit songs for a couple of country music artists, the likes of Toby Keith, the likes of Wynonna Judd, and so many others. So the legend was born in Shady Valley, Tennessee, raised in Bristol, Tennessee, and of course he later on moved on to Nashville, where he became one of the most prolific songwriters of his generation. He crafted 5 decades worth of hit songs, for like I've told you, a long list of artists, the likes of Toby Keith, there was Johnny Cash, Wynonna Judd, Smokey Robinson, Ray Charles, the likes of Three Dog Night, Willie Nelson, Tanya Tucker, Kenny Loggins, and so many names. He was, by the way, he's even a cousin to the pop star Kenny Loggins, a man who has achieved fame through his so many songs, the likes of Please Come to Boston, and actually which topped easy listening chart and reached number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1974. That was, Dave Loggins. The song. The song Please Come to Boston actually earned him even a Grammy nomination for the best pop male vocal performance, making the first of these of his so many Grammy nods. In 1986, Loggins made history by winning the CMA Award for Vocal Duo of the Year with Anne Murray for their duet Nobody Loves Me Like You Do, like you've watched it on the video. And of course he has been in and out of the news, but most especially he has been known for his songwriting skills. I think if we look at the country music genre, I think he's been actually amongst, if not the top 5, he's amongst the top 3 best songwriters in the history of country music genre. So He's been survived by his sons Queen, Kyle, Dylan, and of course the grandson Braxton. And of course, by the time before he passed on, he said that he doesn't want a funeral to be held, so we don't expect any funeral. Maybe a memorial or something to remember him, but he said he doesn't want a funeral. And of course, all donations in his memory can be made to the Alive Hospice in Nashville, where he passed on from. We are sending our deepest condolences to the family, friends, the fans globally who really loved his music and his works. Rest in power, the king, Dave Loggins. Of course, we'll be coming out to give you more updates with regards to his burial and anything, the family or friends, and of course, there's so many tributes that are still coming in from the people he wrote songs for. We are learning a lot from his life and legacy, but most importantly is, to stay on the purpose and work so hard the same way Dave Loggins did. In this moment in time, all we are saying is rest in power, the king, Dave Loggins, and goodbye for now.